It's 5:30 p.m. and you're welcome to Eyewitness News live from our studios here at number 11 Dr. Martin Loop in Adabraka, Accra. My name is Nanatufu Boateng, and this evening I am here with
Hawa Idrisu Mustafa.
Coming up over the next 90 minutes.
Consequently, the Ministry of Health has requested the assistance of the AG to initiate an investigation into the case to determine the culpability or otherwise of the affected staff and take any further action deemed appropriate. The matter has also been reported to the Criminal Investigations Department.
Health Ministry refers case of medical misconduct involving some officials of the Winneba Trauma and Specialist Hospital, which led to the death of a patient, to the Police CID and the Attorney General's Department. Also coming up, group known as Concerned Citizens Against Galamsey to protest for 3 days beginning tomorrow, demanding the release of some remanded anti-Galamsey protesters who were arrested during the demonstration by the Democracy Hub group. And later, Confederation of African Football (CAF) approves Accra Sports Stadium to host the 2025 Africa Cup of Nations AFCON qualifier between Ghana and Sudan. Stay with 97.3 Citi FM for more on this and other stories on Eyewitness News. But later in business.
Increasing food prices push inflation up marginally to 21.5% after 5 consecutive months of decline.
Eyewitness News is live across the country on all our affiliates, including Premier 100.5 FM, Sky Power 93.5 FM, Beach 105.5 FM, all in Takrady in the Western region. You're welcome to the Bono Regional Capital, Sunyani, on Greener 95.9 FM. We're live in the Ahafo region on Hamesh Radio 106.5 FM in Goso. Join us in the Ashanti Regional Capital, Kumasi, on Alpha Radio 104.9 FM and Orange 107.9 FM. You're welcome to the Volta region on Global 105.1 FM in Ho and at Danu 107.7 FM in Adakluwaya. Up in the northern region, this is Diamond 93.7 FM in Tamale. Welcome to the Upper West region on Westlink 88.1 FM in Laura. You're listening to us in the Upper East region on Source 100.1 FM in Boko. And you can join us in the Northeast region on SCARP 101.3 FM in Nangpanduri. Your comments are welcome via WhatsApp line 0549 986 996. And of course, you can tune in around the globe on citynewsroom.com. We begin tonight's bulletin from the health sector, where the Ministry of Health has referred the alleged medical misconduct at the Winneba Trauma and Specialist Hospital, which resulted in the death of a patient, to the Criminal Investigations Department, CID, of the Ghana Police Service and the Attorney General's Department for further probe. Now, this is as a result of an investigation by the Ghana Health Service. My colleague Sami Wiafe has a copy of the statement released by the Health Ministry, and he joins me in studio to give us more details regarding this particular incident. Sami, good evening and thank you.
Thank you very much, Nana.
Very well. Let's look at the statement as is issued by the Health Ministry. We know that a committee was set up to investigate this particular matter relating to the alleged abandonment of a patient at Ojobi near Gumwa. And of course, what does the statement say the findings are, for which reason they are making reference of the case to the CID and of course the Attorney General's Department?
Okay, so it's a 9-point statement, and I read according to what the Health Ministry released. And it says, 1, the Honorable Minister of Health, Dr. Bernard Okoboy, has directed that the conduct of certain officials at the Trauma and Specialist Hospital in Winneba be reported to the Criminal Investigations Department, CID, and the Attorney General's Department. 2. This follows investigations by the Ghana Health Service, which concluded that the employees identified as having contributed to the planning and evacuation of the patient from the hospital to Ojobi, where she was abandoned until her death, did not act appropriately. The committee also recommended that the staff or the said staff be sanctioned by the Ghana Health Service through the internal disciplinary procedure. Point 4. However, the ministry is of the view that in the light of the gravity of the issue captured in the report involving the loss of life, further investigation should be carried out by the Honorable Attorney General and Minister of Justice. Consequently, the Ministry of Health has requested the assistance of the AG to initiate an investigation into the case to determine the culpability or otherwise of the affected staff and take any further action deemed appropriate. Point 6. The matter has also been reported to the Criminal Investigations Department, CID. Point 7 says the Ministry of Health is committed to the recommendations made by the Committee of the Ghana Health Service. The full report of the committee is available through a website that the ministry provided. And finally, it says the ministry reiterates dedication to upholding the high standard of healthcare delivery and ensuring that these circumstances leading to this incident are not repeated, and is signed by the PRO of the Ministry of Health dated today.
So basically, investigations by the Ghana Health Service has found that these officials are culpable or complicit in this matter, and feel that recommendations of the Ghana Health Service
so now they have usually set up a committee when this issue came up. A number of people were angry about this. This was in June, and people were very angry about this. So the Health Ministry, which was announced by Dr. Kumar Bwaji, the Director General, the committee was going to be set up to investigate this matter. The committee has finished its work. Now the ministry says because there was a loss in life, there was a need for criminal investigation to be conducted because someone had died from this particular incident. The more reason why they are referring this matter to the Attorney General Department and the CID for further investigation.
Very well. Thank you very much, Samiri Afe. Let me go over the phone lines and speak to the PRO for the Ministry of Health, Isaac Ofeba. Good evening, sir, and thank you for joining us here on Eyewitness News.
Good evening, and good evening to your cherished listeners.
Grateful. I trust you're well.
I'm fine. How are you too?
I'm doing very well. Let's get straight into it. This matter happened somewhere in June. There's been a loss of life. A committee has investigated the incident and has made some recommendations. However, a statement which you have signed as PRO for the Health Ministry, it says the Health Minister has referred the matter to the Police CID and the Attorney General's Department. Kindly help us understand the events leading to the referral to the CID and the AG.
Okay, thank you very much. And then we all know what happened at the Jobi, where life or a supposed woman was found dead as a result of being released or ejected from the hospital. And so further to the committee's report, there were issues that borders on criminality, especially where life is lost. So it will be within the premise of the CID and then the Attorney General's Department to investigate to see the cause of death, one, and also to know exactly what actually happened. When you read from the report, you can see clearly that it was mentioned that even though there had been issues of accident, nobody is able to identify the exact location where the accident occurred. And so further investigations will lead to some of those issues coming up. The officers who misconducted themselves, some one way or the other may be acting in a capacity which they are not supposed to. And so when you perceive to be somebody who you are not, we all know the implications that come along with it. It is only the Criminal Investigation Department of the Ghana Police Service and the Attorney General's Department that can help us lead to establish a charge against such officers. However, the administrative breach, the gap that has come over there is being taken care of by the Ghana Health Service, so that the misconduct by professionals where you are not able to do what you are supposed to do, where you committed administrative blunders, the sanctions that come with whether to be suspended, whether to be interdicted, whether to be dismissed, would follow the administrative procedure. And those were the issues that were referred to the Ghana Health Service for them to give the officers that were capable a fair hearing that this is what you have done and we want to hear from you. What has stated that, I acted upon instructions of A, B, C, D. And based on that, I am not guilty. Based on that, I am guilty. per the code of conduct, per the rule that governs the work that we do as citizens of this country. Each profession have its own rules and regulations that workers are supposed to work within. And so if you flout any of those laws, some of them are of criminal charges and some of them are of civil charges. Where the administration is not able to take care of, they are supposed to hand you over to the police service for them to take up from there. And that is exactly what the Honorable Minister had done. We have lost life, and the Minister is keen into ensuring that whoever that is capable that led to the death of the woman should be dealt with according to the law. And that is what the Honorable Minister for Health, Dr. Bernard Okoboy, had directed that the AG and then the CID department should go into the case for us to have a final decision on.
Very well. Let's trace back to June when the committee was set up. I mean, what was the mandate of the committee and who attended upon the committee? I'm asking this because reports that came out then was that no one had shown up at the hospital as a relative to cater for the patient then.
Yes. In as much as I may not want to lead the police investigations, I would also want to give a background information. The committee led by Dr. Daniela Sari met all staffs that were involved. So when you go to page 9 of the report, you see the officers that are affected, the medical superintendent, the director nurses, and some other nurses that were affected. So indeed, there was the patient reported at the facility. There was a gap in the referral. The processes by which the patient was discharged from the hospital was not duly followed. The officers who were supposed to act or the officers who were supposed to take the final decision on the referral of the patient or the release of the patients from the hospitals were not the people. And all those things have been spelled out in the report. And so, indeed, there is an establishment that the woman came to the hospital. Indeed, there is an establishment that the woman could be suffering from mental health. And that could be the reason why the woman may not be able to mention who exactly the relative may be. And in the report, it was also established that there had been an accident. However, the place of accident is what nobody is able to talk about, to confirm now. And that is one of the reasons why the Ghana Police Service will have to go for further investigations into that matter. Right.
Now, the criminal aspects, you have referred to the CID and the AG's department. And what will happen next with respect to the procedural lapses or, if you like, professional lapses that may have been established by the committee after its work was done? Because I want to believe that persons found culpable will be subject to the services, that's the Ghana Health Services Code of Conduct.
Yeah, so where you are supposed to be suspended, you will be suspended. Where you are supposed to be dismissed, you will be dismissed. And where you are supposed to be sent to court to answer charges against your conduct, charges that you have committed, where you are supposed to be released for you to go and answer those charges, you cannot be hiding behind the banner of the Ghana Health Service or the Ministry of Health, and then you would individually be protected. We have issues where the Attorney General come in for government officials where they erred in some other practices, not to say that negligently I acted and then government will have to provide lawyers for me to come and assist me. So when the investigations come up and it is found capable that this person or this officer have acted in a way that he or she is not supposed to act, the ministry will have the right to release you for prosecutions. The Ghana Health Service will have the right to release you for prosecutions. And those are the measures that had already been put in place. So that Ghana Health Service have already started the initiative. It addicted some other officers already. They have not been called back to office. They are still on interdiction. And then they're going to face the disciplinary committee to answer charges why they acted in that manner.
Do you know how many persons are involved or are being subjected to the disciplinary procedures?
Purpose to the investigation and not to be leading that, let's limit ourselves to what we have on page 9 of the committee's report. They have mentioned some category of officers who were capable, who have committed some offenses. Let's just limit ourselves to that. But then, when the investigation should proceed and an officer is saying that, look, I acted because Dr. Asimasi have asked me, or Dr. YBCD have asked that I should do this, and it is out of that doctor who instructed you after admitting can also be found culpable. And so the law may take different forms depending on the issue, depending on the situation. Let's also not forget that the labor law is also there for workers that are working for government or private sectors and all that. So we may come face to face with some other impediments, and that is the main reason why the minister have directed that the state agencies should rather take charge, so that where one is supposed to face a legal frame, the person is allowed to do so.
Have we been able to identify relatives of the deceased?
That will be beyond this report, and the Ghana Police Service will be the sole responsible for that.
Very well. Finally, before you go, I mean, how worried is the sector minister, considering the fact that a life has been lost, and which may be a dent to the health ministry?
You can see from the directive that he has given already that he is not happy at all. One statement he made is that, look, this could be your mother, it could be my mother. This person could be your sister, it could be my sister as well. And so all actions, the needed action should be taken. One is going to serve as a deterrent for others who would act in such manner, so that we are all called to order. We all know that when we act negligently, the law is there to take us on. And so I can say that Honorable Dr. Bernard Okoboy is seriously worried about the issue. And he has pursued this issue from day one. He has been on the neck of this issue from day one. And he had committed the report into action. And that is why today we have to come up with this statement, so that everybody should know what the ministry is doing about it.
All right. Thank you very much for your time this evening, Isaac Ofeba. We're grateful.
Thank you, sir.
Isaac Ofeba is the Public Relations Officer for the Ministry of Health, speaking to us there on the referral of a case of medical misconduct involving some staff of the Winneba Trauma and Specialist Hospital, which led to the death of a patient, to the Police CID and the Attorney General's Department. This is the Election Bureau. You're listening to Eyewitness News on 97.3 Citi FM. Still ahead, Confederation of African Football (CAF) approves Accra Sports Stadium to host the 2025 Africa Cup of Nations qualifier between Ghana and Sudan. Stay with us. We'll be right back with the details.
Eyewitness News. Be there as it happens.
Hi, Aku. I just got the estimate for the home repairs. It's more than we expected. I'm really stressed about where to find the money.
Why worry, Musa? You are a salaried worker. Haven't you heard about the GCB personal loan promo? They can give you up to 700,000 Ghana cedis in less than 24 hours at a significantly reduced interest rate and fees.
Really? This sounds exciting, but is it easy to apply?
Super easy. Skip the stress. Get the cash with the GCB personal loan promo with a 1-month repayment holiday. Just visit a GCB bank branch near you or call 0302 634 922. Toll free 0800 422 422. No hassle, no stress.
Wow! I just got a notification. The loan is already in my account. That was fast.
Skip the stress and get the cash you need with GCB personal loan. Visit a branch near you today. Terms and conditions apply. GCB Bank, your bank for life.
Are you feeling tired after a hard day's work? Have you lost your appetite even for your favorite dish? Viral Blood Tonic is a nutritionally balanced, pleasant-tasting tonic fortified with iron and vitamins to boost your appetite and energy levels for high performance. Viral Blood Tonic, easy to take and good for the whole family. Viral from Danex Iting Starwin PLC. If symptoms persist after 48 hours, consult a physician. This advert is FDA approved.
Hey, is that Cuckoo? Hey, you've grown into a big boy, oh.
Even Momo is 15 years old.
It still feels like yesterday when we were fumbling with cash and worrying about the way money moves.
Say it again. Now I send money to my AC in the village, pay bills, save money, loans so kakra, investment kakra, at the Momo app.
Shit. How do you think I get the small coins from my bugger pack?
To celebrate 15 years of Momo, you too can win awesome prizes in the Momo at 15 Rewards promo. Just download the new My Momo app. Continue to transfer and make payments, and you could be one of the 15 lucky winners of 15,000 Ghana cedis and 150 lucky winners of 1,500 Ghana cedis each. So, Ghana, keep celebrating Momo at 15. Offer runs from now till November. T's and C's apply. MTN.
Let your voice be heard on Eyewitness News on Facebook at facebook.com/City97.3, Twitter at twitter.com/City973, and Instagram at instagram.com/City973 with the hashtag Eyewitness News.
Eyewitness News. Be there as it happens.
You're welcome back. This is the Election Bureau. You are listening to Eyewitness News on 97.3 Citi FM. Let's get into some other stories. And the Jubilee House has announced that the Executive Secretary to the President and Ambassador at Large, Nana Bediatu Asante, is currently receiving treatment in the U.S. after falling ill. A statement from the Jubilee House said that medical doctors are currently attending to the recently appointed Ambassador at Large, who is responding to treatment. My colleague Samiri Afe is still here with me in the studio. He has a copy of that statement. Now, even before you get into the statement, as of yesterday, there were rumors in town, and I'm sure it is these rumors that have prompted or have gotten the communications department of the Jubilee House to issue the statement regarding the health status of Nana Bediatu Asante. So if you can trace back a little and then give us details of the statement.
So there were reports on social media which says that the Executive Secretary to the President is dead or had died in the U.S. after attending the UN General Assembly a couple of days ago. So it went viral. A lot of people were talking about, a few calls were made here and there to verify if this particular information was true. It got to the presidency and they had to issue this statement just to clear the air in respect of this particular rumor that Nana Bediatu Asante was no more. And so this afternoon, the statement was issued and signed by the Director of Communications at the Office of the President, Eugene Ayin, which says that the Office of the President wishes to inform the public about the health status of Nana Bediatu Asante, Secretary to the President, following the conclusion of the meeting of the 79th United Nations General Assembly in New York in the United States of America, where he served as a key member of President Akufo-Addo's delegation. Nana Bediatu Asante stayed behind to conduct further government business. He then began to feel unwell and was subsequently admitted to the hospital. He is currently in stable condition and responding well to treatment. According to the medical team, Nana Bediatu Asante's recovery is on track and we remain hopeful for his swift return to full strength. Conclusion says, we ask for continued prayers and support for him and his family during this difficult period. Further updates will be provided when necessary. Signed, Eugene Ayin, Director of Communications at the Presidency. So this go to, dismiss the rumors or the reports that the Nana Asante Bediatu is dead.
But definitely there are health issues.
There are health issues. The statement clearly stated that he is unwell and medical doctors or the medical team are attending to him as we speak in the U.S.
Very well. Thank you very much, Sami Yafe. That's it for the health status of the Executive Secretary to the President, Nana Bediatu Asante, who was reportedly dead. However, the communications wing of the Jubilee House has issued a statement refuting this report, saying that although he had suffered an illness in the United States of America, he is currently responding to treatment. Now, for the next 3 days, a demonstration is set to hit the country, which demonstration is expected or aimed at pushing for the release of some 53 anti-Galamsey protesters who were arrested by the police and detained a week ago. The Ghana Police Service has issued a statement relating to this particular protest. Hawa Idrisu Mustafa has the statement. Hawa, what's the Ghana Police Service saying?
It's a 5-point statement, and it says the Ghana Police Service on 26th September 2024 received notice from a group known as Concerned Citizens Against Galamsey of a planned protest by way of a procession from Opongolo, Legon to the Independence Square in Accra daily from the 3rd to the 5th of October 2024. After an engagement with the organizers, the agreed route for the demonstration shall begin from Oponglo near the University of Ghana Sports Stadium as their conversion point through the Oponglo traffic light towards Shashi and Standard Authority traffic light through Shangri-La to Airport traffic light and turn right to the Association International School through the National Service Secretariat and merge onto Kaokudi traffic intersection through Kanda Highway to Accra High School Junction, through the Electoral Commission Office, Ridge to the Ridge Hospital, through the AU roundabout to the Parliament House, through Osu Cemetery, and finally end at the Accra Sports Stadium car park. Now, point 3 says, during police engagement with organizers, the police reminded the organizers of their responsibilities under the Public Order Act, which include being held liable for any damage caused to any public property during the demonstration. Any person taking part in the demonstration shall obey the directions of the police, safeguarding the proper movement of other persons and vehicles, and generally maintain order. And any person taking part in a special event shall conduct himself in such a manner as to avoid causing obstruction to traffic, confusion, or disorder. Now, point 4 says, additionally, the organizers were also reminded of police responsibilities under the Public Order Act, which include taking all such steps reasonably necessary during the demonstration as follows, and they continue to say, aim to assist in the proper conduct of any special event by directing the routes of such event to prevent obstruction of pedestrian or vehicular traffic. Now, point B says, to disperse crowds at any special event where he has reasonable grounds to believe that a breach of the peace is likely to occur, or if any breach of the peace has occurred or is occurring, in order to prevent violence, restore order, and preserve the peace. Now, point C says, may cause to be closed such street or part thereof to pedestrian or vehicular traffic, both, and may cause to be erected such barriers as may be necessary to preserve public order. Now, the last point says, the Ghana Police Service wishes to assure the public that it has put in place sufficient security measures to maintain law and order and ensure peace and security during the demonstration and beyond. And this is signed by Grace Ansa Akrofi, Assistant Commissioner of Police, Director, Public Affairs.
Thank you very much, Hawa. Let's go over the phone lines and speak to lawyer for this group of activists who will be hitting the streets from tomorrow. Nobel Amedowu is lawyer for the demonstrators. Good evening, counsel, and thank you for your time.
Good evening, and thank you for having me.
Great. Well, so basically, tell us what is expected to happen from tomorrow.
Okay, so the protest is that free citizens protest, and in compliance with the Section 1 of the Public Order Act, they notify the police, that's the regional command, of their intention to proceed on a peaceful protest against Galamsey and unconstitutional conduct of government, and also to drum home the demand for the government to free and release all arrested protesters. So the demonstration will start from Oponglo through the street of Association International to Kaukudi Junction to straight to Parliament House. Hello,
Noble.
Yes. So from Kaukudi Junction to Parliament House, where they will present a petition to the Parliament, and also present another petition to Lands Commission and the AG.
Very well. Now, we know that the demonstration is for 3 days and there's an activity schedule for each day. And so, I mean, if you can expatiate a bit on the activities that are expected to happen for the 3 days.
Okay. So the first day will be demonstration with the route that, as I just mentioned, and the second day to the same demonstration. The third day there will be a vigil, a night vigil, where they would the group will display the effect, the devastating effect of Galamsey on the environment, especially on the river Pura Ankobra, and Beam River. So they will do a demonstration by video with all the effects of Galamsey on the environment. So this is what will happen, especially on the last day with the video.
Right.
So, okay.
Right. Let's look at the demands by the group. One which has to do with a call for the release of the 53 anti-Galamsey protesters who were arrested by the police and detained a week ago. Now, are we saying that, or are we asking that the legal processes that have been initiated by the Ghana Police Service be truncated and these arrested persons be set free? Is that what we're asking for?
No. Even the AG in his statement at the judges' conference recognized that some citizens who were arrested during the demonstration are actually innocent. That is why he gave a case to the police to expedite their action on their investigation. So if the AG himself, in his statement to the judges' conference, recognized that some individuals that were brought to court are actually innocent, then this only goes to further the point that what court actually this group is demonstrating for is actually legitimate. Because by the AG's own admission, he said, I don't know whether you've seen the statement, but the AG's own admission is that the police are people who are actually innocent. And calling.
Hello. We seem to be having some challenges with Noble Amedowu's contact. Hello, Noble. Right, we're having some challenges. We'll go back and work the lines and get him back on the line. Noble Amedowu is lawyer for demonstrators, a group of activists who are set to hit the streets tomorrow, October 3 to October 5, in protest for the release of some 53 anti-Galamsey protesters who were arrested by police and detained a week ago. Now, the event, of course, is being organized under two slogans, which slogans are Free the Citizens, that's the first hashtag, and the second hashtag, which is Say No to Galamsey. We have Noble back on the line. Thank you very much, Council. We're hitting on the demands that the group is making, and you were earlier making reference to the Attorney General's statement, and what you say is his concession of some people who may have been picked up innocently in that. If you can run up on that, because I want to follow up with a question also stemming from the Attorney General's statement.
Yes, so what we are only saying is that this begs the call for citizens to actually come out and support that demonstration in order for us to all get to the bottom of the issue.
Right. Now, the AG in his statements also advised the prosecution to consider relevant bail applications made at the next adjourned dates of the case. Could we have waited for the next adjourned dates, or we think time is of the essence, for which reason we are hitting the streets from tomorrow?
The AG's call is in order, but time is of essence. That is how come we have repeated the application at the High Court. So, but for the judges' conference by now, I'm sure we would have moved the bail application tomorrow. But because of the conference, the date that was given to us is on 8th of October, which is morning. So the morning of the same day, we will be going to court on the 7th and on the 8th of October, the High Court, to repeat the bail application. And as the AG is calling on the prosecution not to unnecessarily hold their bail, then oppose the bill. Then I'm sure if we go on the next agenda, we are hopeful that the prosecutors will not oppose the bail application. So on the 7th and 8th, we'll be going to court again.
You have been quoting the AG so far, and I want to find out if you would agree with him when he says that Democracy Hub protesters exceeded limits of free expression and for which there are consequences.
No, not at all, not at all. when it comes to demonstration, the Public Order Act actually provides for everything that happens at the demonstration ground. So all I can say for now is that the Public Order Act provides for everything that should happen at the demonstration ground, and when such eventualities happen, what should be done? So if we all take the Public Order Act, who should be held liable for what and for what act is actually in the Public Order Act.
Very well.
Will be for all of us to go by the Public Order Act. And I'm sure as the matter is in court, we'll prove our case in court. And I'm sure at the end of the day, the court will uphold our point.
Very well. Now, the matter is in court. It is a court of competent jurisdiction that has remanded these arrested persons. So who exactly are we calling on to release these arrested persons? Is it the police? Is it the AG? Is it the judiciary? Who exactly are we bringing pressure to bear upon to release these persons?
You know, the matter is in twofold now. One set has been remanded, and the other set is still in police custody, awaiting their day in court. So what they are telling the authorities is that the people who are still in police custody, who have not had their day in court, should be released, and the people who have been remanded by a court of competent jurisdiction. That's how come we have the appeal processes, and which we have taken advantage of to file our necessary processes at the High Court to get them freed on the next agenda.
Very well. Let's move to the other matter or the other demand, which has to do with illegal mining. What exactly is the message we are carrying out from tomorrow to the 5th with respect to illegal mining?
The message is that the government is in charge of issuing licenses to prospective mining. And the government has issued more thousands of licenses to small-scale miners. And we all know that all this have an effect on the environment. And the same water is what we are all drinking from today. Even if you want to say that you are not in the region that the effect, the galamsey is ongoing, but when you travel, even me as a lawyer, you are always on the move to from one court to the other. So by all means, you go to those regions and you drink that water. So we are all being affected. So if we all see the effect of galamsey today, it is only proper that we all call for government to take the necessary steps to make sure that these people who are actually doing the galamsey are brought to justice. That is all the protesters are asking for.
Very well. And you have had meetings with the Ghana Police Service. You have agreed on routes to take. We all saw what occurred during the previous one, for which reason you are also embarking on a demonstration from tomorrow. What measures have you instituted to ensure that protesters go according to agreed plans or routes with the police service to prevent what we witnessed the previous demonstration?
Yeah, so all the demonstrators have done so far is to educate the potential demonstrators, but the leadership have educated them on things that they can do and things that they cannot do, and the places that they are allowed to pass, and also the principal streets where they can pass and what orders to obey from the police. And actually, they've educated them on the reason why the police is important and why they need the police at that very moment. So everyone who is partaking in this demonstration is aware of what they have to do. And I'm positive that at the end of the day, they will all do according to the law.
How many people are we expecting on the streets tomorrow?
Thousands. I have been reliably informed by the leadership that they are expecting about 1,000.
Very well. Thank you so much for your time this evening, Counsel. We're grateful.
You're welcome.
Nobel Amedowu is lawyer for demonstrators who are planning to hit the streets of Accra tomorrow in protest for the release of some 53 anti-Galamsey demonstrators who were picked up by the Ghana Police Service and have been detained over the past week. This is Eyewitness News here on 97.3 Citi FM. Stay with us. When we come back, Confederation of African Football, CAF, approves Accra Sports Stadium to host the 2025 Africa Cup of Nations qualifier between Ghana and Sudan. We'll be right back with the details.
Eyewitness News. Be there as it happens.
Looking for a burst of flavor in every sip? Discover the refreshing taste of Piva beverages. Enjoy the classic Piva Cola flavor, perfect fit anytime. How about a fruity adventure? Try our delightful Piva orange fruit drink packed with recognized citrus flavor. Craving something exotic? Our Piva cocktail fruit drink brings the tropics to you. For a sweet and juicy treat, grab our grapefruit drink and don't miss out on the refreshing Piva Tangerine fruit drink, bursting with tangerine flavor. Piva Cola, Piva Orange, Piva Cocktail, Piva Grape, Piva Tangy. Grab yours today. Available now at your local store. Call us on 055-00 32231. Piva, a taste you love. This advert is FDA approved.
P for Piva.
Oh, jump on now. Go. Gugomi, at what time will you come back where I don't hear the sound of your car? Why you buy new car? No, I don't change my car. It be the same ride. It be the fuel way I change. Way one shouts it. Ever since I started using the all-new Excellium Premium Fuel, fortified with 3-in-1 action. Oh, Joe, now my car, they run like electric car. No, it's so. This is the type of fuel where they want to. Because now engine, they cost. Where they want for way if I buy it, it go protect my engine. And with the small way I buy, I'll go drive, sir. Absolutely. It's like strapping a turbocharger to your engine and giving it a protector. And what they bust my mindset be the 3-in-1 action, no? Excellium, they prevent up to 99% of deposit. It be anti-wear, some be anti-corrosion. Won't pay when I open there. Hey, so where can I find this magical fuel? Just head over to any Total Energy service station and your car will thank you. Hey, they make a finish my gobe fast, then rush go Total Energies. My friend, but why your hand my gobe inside? I give you info. Make a fill the gobe too small. Go. Excellium is designed to protect your car engine, decrease fuel consumption, and lower CO2 emissions. Don't say fuel, say Excellium. Choose Excellium, choose quality.
Just like my mother taught me, I'm teaching you too. These are recipes that have been in our family for generations. Aku, this here is Masim rice.
Mama, did your mother also use Masim rice?
No, my dear. This one is a new tradition. Just me and you.
Oh, and it's delicious too.
Masim rice is grown and packaged right here in Ghana. Uses less water and is tasty from the first mouthful to the last. Look out for Masim rice in markets and supermarkets all over Ghana. Masim means tasty.
Hey, is that cool? Hey, you've grown into a big boy, oh.
Even Momo is 15 years old.
It still feels like yesterday when we were fumbling with cash and worrying about the way money moves.
Say it again. Now I send money to my AC in the village, pay bills, save money, loans so kakra, investment kakra, at the Momo app.
Shit. How do you think I get the small coins from my bugger pack?
To celebrate 15 years of Momo, you too can win awesome prizes in the Momo at 15 Rewards promo. Just download the new My Momo app, continue to transfer and make payments, and you could be one of the 15 lucky winners of 15,000 Ghana cedis and 150 lucky winners of 1,500 Ghana cedis each. So, Ghana, keep celebrating Momo at 15. Offer runs from now till November. T's and C's apply. MTN.
Let your voice be heard on Eyewitness News on Facebook at facebook.com/Citi97.3, Twitter at twitter.com/Citi973, and Instagram at instagram.com/Citi973 with the hashtag Eyewitness News.
You're welcome back. This is the Election Bureau. You're listening to Eyewitness News here on 97.3 Citi FM, coming to you from our studios here at number 11, Dr. Martin Loop in Adabraka, Accra. We're also live on a number of affiliates across the country. Now, the Ghana Highways Authority has announced that maintenance works is set to begin on the Atomic Junction flyover on the N4 from tomorrow. This maintenance works is expected to address the concerns with the expansion joints which have been exposed on the flyover, causing discomfort to some drivers and, of course, users of the stretch. This maintenance works is set to begin from tomorrow to October 22, 2024. The time scheduled for maintenance works is from 8 p.m. till 6 a.m. daily during the period between October 3 and October 22. Now, joining us via telephone is the Public Relations Officer for the Ministry of Roads and Highways, Ahmed Yate, who will be telling us more about this planned maintenance works. Good evening, sir, and thank you for your time.
Thank you very much. Good evening, and good evening to your cherished listeners.
Grateful. Now, tell us about the scheduled maintenance works and what measures have been instituted to help ease the discomfort this may cause to users of the stretch.
Thank you very much for the opportunity. The Ghana Highway Authority will be undertaking maintenance work on the expansion joints on the Atomic Bridge. In all, we have 26 expansion joints, 13 on each side of the bridge. What's going to happen is that the bridge management unit of the Ghana Highway Authority will commence work tomorrow. Work will commence from the Accra bound, so from the Medina to Accra bound section of the road, of the bridge. And so from tomorrow 8 p.m., they'll start work. They'll close that section of the bridge. The Accra to Medina to Accra bound section of the bridge will be closed from 8 p.m. to 6 a.m. from tomorrow. Now they are going to use 10 days to work on that section. And then they'll move to the other section, that is from the Accra to Medina bound section, and start work over there and also spend 10 days on that session. The traffic management measures that we put in place is that while they are working on each bound session, as they are going to start tomorrow, they'll move traffic to the ground level. So from 8 p.m. tomorrow to 6 a.m. For the next 10 days, motorists driving on the Medina to Accra bound section of the bridge, Atomic Bridge, will have to use the ground level. And then after the 10 days, they will move to the Accra to Medina section and divert the traffic to the ground level. And from 8 p.m. to 6 a.m., motorists will have to use the ground level. Except this arrangement is with the exception of Sundays. On Sundays, the entire bridge will be closed. That's the section in which they are working. They will close the entire section so that they are able to make up some time. In actual sense, they are supposed to use more than 10 days to do this work. Because of the important nature of that road, we are pushing them to work within 10 days. And so to make up time, on Sunday, the particular section that they are working on, they will close the bridge, the top bridge, for the whole day to enable them to make up time to meet the 10 days work schedule.
There are concerns that the 10 days is quite a lengthy period on each stretch. So that will give us about 20 days to get the work completed. I know you've just mentioned that it should have taken longer than that, but you've pressured the contractors to speed up the work. But is it 10 days quite a long period for such works?
Yes, that is because they are working only between the hours of 8 to 6. And these are very technical and very specialized work that they are going to do. In fact, the equipment that we are using, the joints that we are using were imported from Germany. And we just received them and we are going to install them. So it's very specialized work. It needs time, and it's even to make up for the time. That's why we are taking the entire 10 days so that we can meet the 10 days for each section of the bridge.
Well, will there be police on standby to help, with the traffic flow, especially on the Sunday when the entire bridge will be closed?
Exactly. We are in touch with the police. We are working with the police, and the police MTT will be helping us to manage the traffic. We want to appeal to motorists to bear with us. We've heard their cry. It's taking some time because we had to import this equipment. Now that the equipment are in, we want to work very fast to install them.
Grateful, but before you go, the Malam Junction one also has similar defects. Is there a plan for that, and how soon?
Yes, we've taken notice of that one and the Achimota bridge also. So we are going through the same procedure. That is that we've now identified the defects we need to do. We will do the estimate. After the estimate, we have to do procurement to select a contractor, and the contractor will then have to import the equipment. So this is the procedure we went through before we are coming to start this. And so we are working hard at it, and we are hopeful that very soon we'll be tackling the Malam Bridge and the Achimota Bridge as well.
Ahmed, thank you so much for your time this evening. We're grateful.
You are welcome. Thank you very much.
Ahmed Yate is Public Relations Officer for the Ministry of Roads and Highways. And you're still listening to Eyewitness News here on 97.3 Citi FM. Moving on, the Confederation of African Football has approved the Accra Sports Stadium to host the 2025 Africa Cup of Nations AFCON qualifier between Ghana and Sudan. My colleague Edwin Kwakofi of the City Sports Desk is joining me to give us some details regarding this matter. So we were banned after the Babayara, the match in Kumasi, and it was all dark and gloom for us. We were disappointed. Fears of going to play a home match on a foreign land, but today we are hearing that CAF has given approval that the Accra Sports Stadium can be used as venue for the next match, which is against Sudan. Yes, update us on this.
So those fears were very realistic up to a point, because in previous years Ghana had played international matches at home at the Accra Sports Stadium, the Cape Coast Stadium, and the Barbara Sports Stadium. Over the last few years, the Accra Sports Stadium and the Cape Coast Stadium had their licenses revoked because the stadia did not meet CAF's requirements for hosting Category 3 matches, which has the highest or possibly below the highest profile international matches for games. The Barbara Stadium was teetering on the edge, getting temporary licenses here and there to host the games, and that's what they got for the AFCON qualifier against Angola last month. However, after that game and following complaints from the Angolan side and also a lot of people who watched that game, CAF revoked that temporary license and asked Ghana to select a temporary venue for the next qualifying game, which is against Sudan at home. Of course, the Black Stars did not, or the Ghana did not want to play that game away from home, which is away from Ghana. So measures were put in place to ensure that the stadia were, renovated and got good for the game. So the Accra Sports Stadium was closed down for every event to get it ready. The Barbara Stadium has still been closed down. Cape Coast is also not in use. So the Ministry of Sport and the GFA presented the Cape Coast Stadium and the Accra Sports Stadium to CAF to come and inspect and ensure that it's ready for the game. So CAF came last week. The officials were in the country last week to inspect it.
Right.
So they stayed over for a few days, inspected both the Accra Sports Stadium and the Cape Coast Stadium, and they deemed that the Accra Sports Stadium was okay to host this game in the qualifiers. The Cape Coast Stadium had been ruled out again. Because it's not ready. So the announcement came today from the Sports Ministry that the CAF had approved the venue for the game, which will take place on the 11th of October, on Friday, the 11th of October. And for future qualifiers. However, CAF said they'll keep an eye on the stadium and the works on the stadium to ensure that it's still on point ahead of the games, obviously. So the Sports Ministry, obviously, the last few days have been releasing pictures of the Accra Sports Stadium, of work going on the pitch in the Accra Sports Stadium. However, there were still concerns that was only one part of the issue that CAF had raised. There were also concerns about the media stand, the washrooms, the referees area, and lots of areas. However, today the Sports Ministry again released a more complete video of work that had been done on the washrooms, the media center, and all other parts of the stadium to get it ready for this game. So it seems that a lot of work had been going on in the background. There were also reports, unconfirmed though, that the president of the land, Nana Akufo-Addo, had placed a call to the CAF boss, Patrice Motsepe, to ensure that the game would be played in the country. Those reports have not been confirmed, but obviously they are rife among the sporting community in Ghana.
Well, we'll leave it at that. It's unconfirmed, and
Yes.
so we wouldn't want to feel that. But this approval will be a temporary license, wouldn't it?
Yes, it's a temporary license. From CAF statement, they say the stadium has been granted a license to host the AFCON qualifiers at home. However, to ensure that they keep this temporary license, obviously more work has to be done, because there's a lot that CAF listed has to be worked on Ghana Stadia to ensure they are ready for to host the qualifiers and other high profile international matches, because Ghana still has the World Cup qualifiers to play next year, and that also requires a stadium that Ghana can host games at in the country.
But how crucial, how critical is this game, and of course hosting it here, because we failed to win any of the initial two. This is match day 3.
Yes,
we're looking at on October 11.
Yes, so in terms of it being crucial, yes, very crucial, because home support has been very important for the Black Stars in recent games. Having lost the first game against Angola and drawn the second against Niger, the Black Stars need all the support they can to get their campaign back on track against Sudan.
Right. Thank you very much. Edwin Kwakofi is with the sports desk here at Citi 97.3, bringing us up to speed with that approval that's been granted the Accra Sports Stadium to host our next AFCON qualifier against Sudan on October 11. This is the Election Bureau. You're listening to Eyewitness News on 97.3 Citi FM. Stay with us for business.
News. Be there as it happens. Eyewitness News. Be there as it happens.
Hey, is that cool? Hey, you've grown into a big boy, oh.
Even Momo is 15 years old.
It still feels like yesterday when we were fumbling with cash and worrying about the way money moves.
Say it again. Now I send money to my AC in the village, pay bills, save money, loans so kakra, investment kakra, at the Momo app.
Shit. How do you think I get the small coins from my bugger pack?
To celebrate 15 years of Momo, you too can win awesome prizes in the Momo at 15 rewards promo. Just download the new My Momo app, continue to transfer and make payments, and you could be one of the 15 lucky winners of 15,000 Ghana cedis and 150 lucky winners of 1,500 Ghana cedis each. So, Ghana, keep celebrating Momo at 15. Offer runs from now till November. T's and C's apply. MTN.
Get the details. Every significant financial transaction, every market movement, and all the policies that affect your business. Citi Business News. Be informed.
Time now for Citi Business News on Eyewitness News. My name is Hawa Idrisu Mustafa. Details of our stories now. Inflation for the month of September 2024 has increased to 21.5% from 20.4% recorded in the month of August. It comes days after the Bank of Ghana eased the monetary policy rate by 200 basis points due to a favorable inflation outlook. The increase is as a result of a rise in food inflation. Now, food inflation surged to 22.1% from 19.1% in August 2024. However, non-food inflation declined to 20.9% from 21.5% in August 2024. Inflation has been on the downward trend for 5 months running, but government statistician Professor Samuel Kobna Inim, while announcing this latest uptick, suggested that there are still upside risks.
We look at food and non-food inflation from a month-on-month perspective for September 2023 to September 2024. On a month-on-month basis, we recorded a peak of 5.1% in the month of June 2024, where month-on-month food inflation stood at 5.1%. This declined sharply to 1.7% in July 2024, further declining to 2.2% deflation in August 2024. These two successive months of decline in food inflation on a month-on-month basis again has been reversed in September 2024 with a significant increase from 2.2% deflation to 4.2% inflation for September 2024. We continue to see non-food inflation on a month-on-month basis oscillating in the last 13 months. Has consistently oscillated between September 2023 to September 2024. It dipped to 0.7% in August 2024, having increased to 2.4% in July 2024, and in September 2024 we are seeing another round of increase in non-food inflation on a month-on-month basis to 1.6% for September 2024. We do the disaggregation of overall inflation from a 13 dominant division perspectives, keeping in mind that the rate of inflation for September 2024 stood at 21.5%.
He had government statistician Professor Samuel Kobna Inim. Now, Fitch Solutions has projected Ghana's economic growth to accelerate to 5.5% in 2024, marking the highest rate in 3 years. This follows a modest growth of 2.9% in 2023, with momentum expected to build as the nation heads into an election year. According to the UK-based firm, while the second half of 2024 may see some moderation, election-related public spending is likely to drive household purchasing power and bolster consumer confidence, keeping private consumption resilient. Looking ahead, Fitch forecasts growth to ease to 4.4% in 2025 as the incoming administration prioritizes fiscal tightening in line with Ghana's ongoing IMF program. Now, in a bid to meet the needs of its clientele, Rana Motors has officially unveiled the all-new Hyundai Mighty EX8 truck and Hyundai County New Breeze bus. These two Hyundai models have been designed to offer customers reliability, durability and comfort, among other benefits. Speaking at the unveiling, Chief Operating Officer of Running Motors, Kasim Odeymat, expressed optimism that the new Hyundai Mighty EX8 truck and Hyundai County New Breeze bus will exceed client expectations.
The Mighty X8 is an outstanding combination of versatility, superior engineering, and modern design, which, with a longer wheelbase, the X8 offers an impressive deck length of 4,850 millimeters, significantly enhancing its load carrying capabilities. Whether you are in need of a drop side body, a container carrier, or even a tipper conversion, the EX8 adapts to your business needs with ease. The smart exterior design is matched by a wide cabin and a sturdy chassis, ensuring that the EX8 is not only powerful, but also reliable under the most demanding conditions. To the next model, the Hyundai County New Breeze bus, this goes beyond the facelift. It's a complete overhaul of the renowned County Bus, offering a range of new features and options tailored to meet the diverse needs of schools, commercial transport, businesses, and public sector organizations.
Kasim Odema is Chief Operating Officer of Rwandan Motors. Now, General Manager of Hyundai Motor Company, Joseph Gignon, on his part, reaffirmed their company's commitment to delivering superior automotive products.
Hyundai Motor Company, same as Hyundai Truck and Bus, is globally recognized for its own innovation, reliability, and sustainability. We are always pushing the boundaries of technologies and the engineering to offer superior solutions that we can meet the customers' needs across all sectors. Hyundai is focused on smart mobility as well, integrating eco-friendly solutions into our commercial fleet to support a more efficient transportation network. Particularly, we are excited about what this means for the market in Ghana.
Joseph Gignon is General Manager of Hyundai Motor Company. Now, Atlantic Lithium is expressing concerns that ongoing delays in parliamentary ratification of its lease agreement are severely impacting its ability to retain employees and fulfill its fiscal obligations to the country. The company warns that without timely approval, its contributions to the economy could be hindered at a time when global lithium prices are experiencing a downturn. Speaking to Citi Business News during the West Africa Mining Security Conference hosted by the Australian High Commission in Ghana, Finance Director of Atlantic Lithium, Amanda Hassa, said she anticipates the final approval will be expedited should Parliament reconvene. Now, away from that, consumers of petroleum products have started paying extra to fill their tanks as some oil marketing companies take the lead in adjusting fuel prices at the pumps. Oil prices climbed about 3% on Tuesday as geopolitical tensions continue to escalate. There is more in this report.
The development in the first pricing window of October marks the first increase in ex-pump prices, 9 pesos. Diesel, which also previously retailed at 13 cedis, 99 pesos per litre, is now priced at 14 cedis, 35 pesos. This increase, according to market analysts, can be attributed to international developments, including rising tensions in the Middle East, affecting crude oil price. The price of refined petroleum products, such as petrol, increased by 1.09%, while that of diesel also increased by 1.67%, as well as the cedi's depreciation against major trading currencies, including the US dollar. Additionally, other OMCs are anticipated to follow suit and increase their prices in the coming days.
That report was filed by my colleague Emmanuel Opon, and that's it for Citi Business News on Eyewitness News. My name is Hawa Idrisu Mustafa. Up next is Point Blank.
Eyewitness News. Be there as it happens.
Oh, jump on now.
Go, Google me. At what time when you come back where I don't hear the sound of your car? Why you buy new car?
No, I not change my car. It be the same ride. It be the fuel way I change. Way one shouts it. Ever since I started using the all-new Excellium Premium Fuel, fortified with 3-in-1 action. Oh, Joe, now my car they run like electric car. No, it's so.
This is the type of fuel where they want to. Because now engine they cost. Where they want for way if I buy it, it go protect my engine. And with the small way I buy, I go drive, sir.
Absolutely. It's like strapping a turbocharger to your engine and giving it a protector. And what they bust my mind self be the 3-in-1 action, no? Excellium they prevent up to 99% of deposit. It be anti-wear, some be anti-corrosion. One pair way now open there.
Hey, so where can I find this magical fuel?
Just head over to any Total Energy service station and your car will thank you.
Hey, then make a finish my go be fast then rush go Total Energies. My friend, but why your hand my go be inside?
I give you info. Make a feel the go be too small.
Go.
Excellium is designed to protect your car engine, decrease fuel consumption, and lower CO2 emissions. Don't say fuel, say Excellium. Choose Excellium, choose quality.
Hey, is that cool? Hey, you've grown
into a big boy, oh.
Even Momo is 15 years old.
It still feels like yesterday when we were fumbling with cash and worrying about the way money moves.
Say it again. Now I send money to Ma AC in the village, pay bills, save money, loan so kakra, investment kakra, at the Momo app.
Shit. How do you think I get the small coins from my bugapa?
To celebrate 15 years of Momo, you too can win awesome prizes in the Momo at 15 rewards promo. Just download the new My Momo app, continue to transfer and make payments, and you could be one of the 15 lucky winners of 15,000 Ghana cedis and 150 lucky winners of 1,500 Ghana cedis each. So, Ghana, keep celebrating Momo at 15. Offer runs from now till November. T's and C's apply. MTN.
The Births and Deaths Registry beckons all of us to forge a future where every death is duly recorded and every Ghanaian life is cherished and remembered. To help capture these moments, registration is absolutely free up to 10 days after losing a loved one. For registration of deaths, make sure to have a medical certificate of cause of death or the coroner's report. Remember that registering deaths is not just a formality, but a way to cherish the memories of those we hold dear and leave a lasting legacy for future generations. This may seem like a small step, but its impact on the entire community is immense. Our offices are open from Monday to Friday, 8:30 a.m. to 5 o'clock p.m. This message is brought to you by Births and Deaths Registry under the Ministry of Local Government, Decentralization and Rural Development, supported by the Public Sector Reform for Resource Project and the World Bank. Call 030-394-41222 or visit www.bdr.gov.gh for further details. From the first cry to bidding farewells, everyone counts. Register now.
Eyewitness News. Be there as it happens.
Eyewitness News here on 97.3 Citi FM. Time now for Point Blank. On Point Blank tonight, the Attorney General and Minister for Justice, Godfred Yeboah-Dame, has been speaking, which speech he made at the annual conference of the Association of Magistrates and Judges of Ghana, which was on the theme improving the security and the welfare of the judiciary for effective justice delivery. Now, Godfred Yeboah-Dame has been speaking on a number of issues, including illegal mining in Galamsey and the prosecution of the Democracy Hub protesters, among others. Let's take a listen to what the Attorney General has been saying.
Superior Court of Justice, again in active service and retired, I recognize the leadership Cecilia Hansisoa and Justice Kwesi Appiah. Yes, he worked in when we were seated there. Justice of the Honorable Judges of the Circuit Court, Magistrates of our District Court, the President of the Ghana Bar Association, the man whose status is not in doubt, still President, distinguished lawyers, ladies and gentlemen, I'm pleased to be here. Judges and lawyers are cut from the same cloth, but the adversarial nature of our legal system has ensured a clear partitioning the duties and functions of judges and lawyers, with the result that interactions between judges and lawyers outside the courtroom are expected to be at the barest minimum. Thus, when a lawyer meets a judge before whom the lawyer has a case at a restaurant or even on the corridors of the court, there's a temptation to evade the judge by looking away or keeping 100 feet away. The invitation for me to attend the annual Judges and Magistrates Conference is thus deeply appreciated and warmly received. Respectfully, I know about the important contribution that each of the arms of state, the executive, legislature, and the judiciary makes. I observe that government is always at its best and most efficient when each arm of the state has a harmonious relationship with the others and respects the limits of their authority. However, of the three branches of government, the one whose functions, in my view, are crucially indispensable and fundamental to our existence as a democracy, whether as a country, whether under democratic governance or not, is the judiciary. In my view, when some of the most difficult moral, social, economic, and political questions fall for resolution, issues that go to the core of the society, it is judges who, with their wisdom derived from long experience, intellect, discipline, and knowledge of the law, shoulder the grave responsibility for determining those issues in furtherance to the principle that justice should be done. The work of the judiciary sits at the heart of our society and our democracy. Therefore, as we hold this conference and as a new legal year beckons, I would like to congratulate the entire judiciary on the work that you do for our country. The role of the judiciary in our society will become more pronounced as we go into the general elections of 2024. Vested in the power to adjudicate on disputes between the state and its organs, state and individuals and businesses, individuals or businesses, the judiciary is required to be an impartial arbiter. Justice is dispensed according to law, and law only. There is the need to ensure that crime or wrongdoing does not go unpunished for any class of society, privileged or underprivileged. In this regard, judges must understand that they work in the overall interest of the state only. As we once again prepare to usher ourselves into an important phase in the life of this nation with the conduct of presidential and parliamentary elections, I dare say that it is even more important for the judiciary to demonstrate that justice is dispensed according to law and not emotions, popular opinion, or public sentiment. The judiciary ought to be impervious to any consideration other than law, including social commentary. In view of the peculiar environment in which the nation finds itself at this moment, I crave your indulgence to briefly use this occasion to address a few important national issues. Respectfully, an unhealthy cycle in the life of the nation is occurring once again. The drumbeats of violence, mayhem, incitement to violence, and civil disobedience are being beaten, and indeed have gone a notch higher. There are attempts to create tensions and instill fear into people through demonstrations which, in some cases, are a ruse for mounting an attack on the security forces for our nation and disrupting the running of essential services, essential public services. This, with the greatest respect, is not countenance in any democracy. In any advanced democracy, when protesters exceed the limits of free expression and show disregard to their communities and the safety of their own lives and that of other members of the community, irrespective of the motives for the protests embarked on, they face the rigors of the law. In this regard, this year, on 18 July 2024, in the United Kingdom, 5 supporters of an activity described as, and I quote, the Just Stop Oil Climate Campaign, end of quote, a demonstration against the geophysical and climate hazards of the oil trade, who conspired to cause a gridlock on London's motorway, were sentenced to lengthy jail terms by the Southwark Crown Court, presided over by Justice Christopher Hehe. In the words of the linear judge, the protesters had, and I quote, crossed the line from concerned campaigner to fanatic, end of quote. After having been found guilty of conspiracy to cause a public nuisance, the leader of the demonstration received a 5-year sentence, while the other 4 were sentenced to 4 years each. Further, in the same United Kingdom, between 30th July 2024 and 9th August 2024, far-right and anti-immigration riots occurred in England and Northern Ireland, following a mass stabbing incident at Southport, in which 3 children were killed. The riots were fueled by false claims circulated by some far-right groups that the perpetrator of the attack was a Muslim and an asylum seeker. A demonstration in protest at the incident turned violent, with protesters attacking police officers and committing other acts of violence. Following the new Prime Minister, Keir Starmer's assurance on 4th August 2024 that the protesters will, as he said, feel the full force of the law and that they will regret taking part in this, whether directly or those whipping up the action online and then running away themselves, the prosecution of the protesters was mounted. Over 100 convictions were made by the court. Respectfully, I crave your indulgence to briefly share with you some of the details of the convictions. On 7th August, 3 persons were sentenced to periods of between 20 months and 3 years in prison. On 9th August, a 28-year-old man received 20 months in prison for stirring up racial hatred online during the rout after making a Facebook post stating, and of course, forgive my language, that the people should, as he said, smash the fuck out of a hotel used by the government to house asylum seekers awaiting processing. A 34-year-old woman was also sentenced to 20 months after pushing a burning refuse bin towards police officers. On 12 August, two 12-year-old boys were among those convicted, becoming the youngest people to be convicted following their involvement in disorder. A 35-year-old man was sentenced to 3 years for posting false information about the identity of the original Southport stabber and praising writers on his X account, which had many followers at the time of his arrest. On 18 September, a 25-year-old man from Birmingham was sentenced to 2 years and 4 months in prison after having pleaded guilty for distributing false material and information. Another renowned democracy, the United States of America, has also had opportunity to stamp its disapproval of protesters who utilize free speech as an unlawful tool for causing mayhem and interference with other members of the public and security forces. Thus, in August 2023, an anti-abortion activist who blocked access to a clinic in Washington, D.C. and live-streamed the blockade on Facebook was sentenced to nearly 5 years in prison. In Portland, Oregon, an Indiana man was sentenced to 10 years in federal prison and 3 years supervised release for repeatedly and intentionally jeopardizing the lives of police officers, destroying public property, and encouraging others to commit violence during protests that occurred in Portland in 2020. Just last week, on 24 September 2024, the U.S. Department of Justice announced that more than 300 individuals in 29 states have been charged for crimes committed adjacent to or under the guise of peaceful demonstrations since May 2024. Especially, the lesson to be drawn from the treatment of unlawful or violent expression of free speech in the United States and the United Kingdom is that the legitimacy of the declared object of specific protest does not matter. Whilst acknowledging the legitimacy of concerns which motivate some protests, the state must deplore and, in fact, prosecute acts of protesters which threaten the running of essential services, infringe on the right to free movement of others, or attack the safety of security forces, because such acts endanger the entire society and have a real tendency to destroy the peace of the nation ahead of the upcoming elections. I can therefore understand it when the judiciary supports the work of law enforcement officers by dealing firmly in accordance with law all acts of violence and lawlessness, especially as we go into election 2024. We cannot take the progress Ghana has made in establishing democracy as a way of life for granted. As a renowned demonstrator myself, one of the founders of the Alliance for Accountable Governance, who in 2009 and 2010 embarked on many peaceful protests in Accra, I stand fully for the realization of the right to free expression. However, that right is always exercised subject to the injunction contained in Article 12, Clause 2 of the Constitution. That is, the public interest and respect for the rights and freedoms of others. The peace and territorial integrity of our nation at this time, 2 months before election 2024, is far greater than the pursuit of any parochial political goals, just as the right to free expression is no more paramount than the right of others to access essential services and the duty of the police to maintain the peace of Ghana. As I always say, freedom is not free. It is accompanied by serious responsibilities, and it is up to the entire nation, particularly the judiciary, to ensure that the gains and triumphs of the past remain intact for generations of Ghanaians unborn. The rule of law is fragile. The rule of law is based on people. Democracy is based on people. Thus, when a small proportion of the same people imperil the democracy we live, the institutions of justice must respond according to law. Having said this, I urge the police service to swiftly conclude investigations by the next agenda date to the cases involving the prosecution of excesses for recent protests in Accra, so as to exclude by that date all those against whom sufficient evidence cannot be found to proceed further. I also advise the prosecution to consider relevant bail applications at the next agenda dates of the cases. Leadership, a frequent complaint with justice delivery in this country is a slow pace at which the wheels of justice grind. One category of cases whose speed of resolution by our court I often lament the trial of illegal mining cases. It is beyond argument that the form of illegal mining known as galamsey continues to wreak incalculable damage to the forest reserves and river bodies of the country. A major setback to the struggle against galamsey is the rate of adjudication and punishment of offenders. The deterrence to galamsey sought to be achieved by the amendment to the Minerals and Mining Act in 2019 by requiring a punishment for a minimum of 15 years plus a heavy fine in the case of a Ghanaian and a minimum of 20 years plus a hefty fine for a non-Ghanaian. Is not aided by the tiredness of our courts in completing galamsey cases. Convictions are secured, but they come in trickles. Currently, over 140 cases of illegal mining involving over 850 accused persons are pending in courts in the Western, Eastern, Ashanti, Greater Accra, and Upper East regions of Ghana. Some have been pending since 2020. This situation, with all respect, cannot be right. We are in urgent national crisis, and all citizens and institutions with any form of role to play must be called upon to act. Your leadership, I therefore respectfully call on you to direct all judges sitting on galamsey cases to conclude the cases, the hearing of which has started within 1 month from the commencement of the legal year on 10th October 2024. Reasonably, it can be done. Indeed, if but of course, it's only subject to the discretion of the court. And the judges are in control of the courtrooms. And as I said, justice dispenses in accordance with the rules of procedure and the law. So far as the rules of procedure permit, so be it. Indeed, if most of these cases are completed within a month, it will go a long way in delivering justice for the heinous harm caused to the people by the devastating act. Politicians must also desist from encouraging galamsey through their rhetoric and actions. Those who preach amnesty for galamsey offenders must be rejected. There should be no place for the grant of amnesty for such crimes in our body politic, as the lives of citizens and future of our nation are at risk. Especially post the 2024 elections, the judiciary must play a role in promptly resolving disputes arising out of the elections. In this regard, I hereby indicate that my office is ready to present to Parliament a proposed amendment to Implementation of Proposed Law 1992, Pension Law 284, which seeks to speed up the process for adjudicating parliamentary election disputes. By this, the time for presentation of parliamentary election challenge will be reckoned from the date from the declaration of results at the Constituency Collation Center and not the publication of the results in the Gazette. Leadership, you can be assured that in my office, you have an ally for the betterment of conditions of service for the judiciary. The contribution of the Akufo-Addo government to the improvement of conditions of the judicial service is well documented, and I will not bore you by repeating same. The judiciary has, over the last 8 years, seen the most massive improvement in infrastructure since independence, with the construction of over 100 courthouses and 120 bungalows, as well as the advancement in digitization of the judiciary. I have taken note of the concerns bordering your welfare expressed this morning, particularly the medical bills, vehicle maintenance allowances, and the need to reimburse fuel coupons. I know they very much affect the welfare and security of the judiciary. I'll take them up and have some addressed by the end of this calendar year. Indeed, my office will be at the forefront of the advocacy for provision of better conditions of service and facilities for judges and magistrates. We will also be ready and willing partners for the pursuit of any measures which will enhance the ability of judges to deliver on their constitutional mandate in a safe, sound, and healthy environment, with the security and welfare of judges and magistrates being the driving force. I once again thank you for inviting me. I wish you all the best as we reflect on the theme for your AGM. Thank you very much. God bless us.
For Justice Godfred Yeboah-Dame, featuring on Point Blank tonight with his speech delivered at the annual conference of the Association of Magistrates and Judges of Ghana. Well, that will be all for Eyewitness News tonight. We came to you live from our studios here at number 11, Dr. Morton Lupin at Dabraka, Accra. My name is Nana Tufo Boateng. I did this with Hawa Idrisu Mustafa. Show produced by Nana Kobna Wilson and Sami Riafe. Technical support, of course, Desmond Nyako, Edwin Kwakofi on socials. This is the Election Bureau. Follow us and, of course, join in the conversations with the hashtag Ghana Post 2024 and the hashtag Citi Verify. We have more news on our websites, citynewsroom.com and channel1news.com. Many thanks for listening. Have a good evening.